name's Jeff Ingram, National Training Manager for Samsung IT. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the new Samsung Book Q. Depending on what you want to call it, convertible, tablet, NPC, it's up to you. But we have a couple variations of how we can set up this. A typical tablet form. We have also the typical notebook computing form. We can also have a floating design where if I want to share the content between two people, I can do so. And then another fourth design where if I don't want to utilize the keyboard, I have the ability to just use the window and touch panel for using videos and whatnot, even browsing the internet. So switching it back over, I do want to highlight a couple premium features of this model. The first one is going to be, if I go into the desktop, is the resolution. The screen resolution of the Book Q is 3200 by 1800 QHD. This makes it the highest resolution notebook computer on the market today.
You know what the PPI on that is?
It's 275 pixels per inch. So as you can see, the icons are extremely small. The text is very tiny, yet very sharp. This is great for people who are really into photo editing, working with raw images, and even large Excel spreadsheets with a lot of information. So it's a great resolution for this notebook size.
I mean, it is a PLS, Samsung PLS panel, right?
Yeah, it's a Samsung PLS panel, which allows us the ability for great viewing angles, right or left, up and down. Great for this type of product because of the flexibility it has in terms of how you want to set the screen up.
It seems pretty bright as well.
Yeah, very bright, regardless if you're in a dark room or bright room, you can make those adjustments. Even the screen resolution, you have the ability, of course, to adjust the screen resolution. Maybe some of the apps and Word documents that you're going to use with older generation programs, you'll bring down the resolution to maybe 1920 by 1080.
And of course, being a tablet touchscreen, which we've seen already. So
yeah. So
and we have another input as well, right?
So we do have an S Pen. So for taking notes, and especially with the screen size this big, you want to be able to, fingers may be a little bit too big. So to have the precision of an S Pen would be extremely important. Now, in terms of inputs on this device, in the tablet form, we do have a dongle where we can attach an Ethernet cord, our power. I'll turn it around. From here, we have a full-size USB. We have headphone jacks.
And you mentioned it was a USB 2, that side port, right?
Correct. The side one on there is USB 2.0. Now, in a desktop view, we do have a USB 3.0, and we also have an HDMI mini. And then on the other side, we also have a micro SD card slot. So one of the great things about this device is the hinge design is very durable, very rugged. So you're going to, over the life of the panel, be very sturdy and a lot of use in terms of opening and closing the device.
Now, I read some of this is mostly a magnesium construction.
Yeah, very premium design, which is important. Scratch-resistant screen, so certainly for poor transportation, you want to minimize the scratching of the screen. We still recommend using a cover or a case for cover for port.
Gorilla Glass, or is this another kind of scratch-resistant?
I need to get confirmation on that.
Yeah,
so
I can
have that information.
Check that out. So, another input I noticed is the optical.
So we do have an optical mouse. We do have the selector left and right with a middle selector button option as well. So in terms of what you want to use with it, whether it's an external mouse or the optical mouse or just going back to the basic touch panel, the consumer has a wide range of choices.
Now on the internals, we had a look at this. It is a Haswell processor.
Yes.
So it benefits on the 4th generation of technology from Intel.
Yeah.
One of the big things I know about Haswell is battery life. So what kind of battery life can consumers expect from this?
So you're looking at a 9-hour battery life, but what's really important is that Samsung manufactures their own batteries, and we have a unique technology called battery life extender. And that's important because it's not important, it's just as important the day you buy it and then even 2-3 years from now. So every time you do a cycle charge, 2 years from now you unplug it and the battery only lasts 20 minutes. Well, with Samsung, even over those 1,000 charge cycles, you're still going to maintain 70% of that battery life. So that's important for not only the battery that, getting usage out of it today, but even in year 2, year 3, that you're going to have a battery that's going to last you a long time.
I mean, it's definitely impressive. Long-lasting battery and a battery with such life means this really becomes a very viable tablet device. I think a lot of the first generation of Windows 8 tablets suffered from having a battery life that was quite a bit less than what users were expecting from tablets. So
every user is a little bit different. Some people keep it charged all the time, but certainly you want the flexibility of making sure it's not overcharged, but also the cycle times that you are recharging it. You want the battery to last, and that's one of the advantages that Samsung has with their battery technology.
So can we look at some of the unique software applications that Samsung's including with the Ativ Q? So
a few that we have on the screen here we can highlight. We have S Photo Studio for editing photographs. We also have our S Note, which is great with the S Pen, so it's note taking, especially when you're using the tablet factor. We also have Evernote pre-installed with it. We have a trial version of Microsoft Office, our own software update program. But most importantly, what really gets highlighted in here is our SideSync. And SideSync is going to be a unique Samsung software in all of Samsung's Ativ product, and that's the ability to actually clone your phone. So whatever's on your phone is going to be on your computer screen.
So can we see that in action?
So for this demonstration, I'm going to use a USB. Now we do have the option of either doing wireless or USB. The benefit of having it USB is that I can maintain a charge on my phone at all times. I'm just going to simply launch the SideSync software. I'm going to allow it one time, or I can have it allowed every time I connect to it. It only takes a couple seconds for it to communicate with the phone, and what you're going to see in a moment is an exact clone of my phone. Now, whether I can use the on-screen phone or even touching the phone itself. Now, the advantage of this type of feature is certainly maybe from a business aspect, where you can have your phone sitting beside your computer, yet still have full control over all the phone functions. I can make a phone call directly on the computer screen. I can hit the talk button. I can go to speakerphone, so I can still talk to the phone. And then even when a text message comes in, or if I need to make a text message, I have the ability to actually utilize my keyboard to write that text. I'm not really actually writing anything, but you can probably type a lot quicker on your keyboard than you would maybe on your phone, depending on the type of person you are.
So can you resize the size of the phone on the screen?
Yeah, you can change the size depending on how big you want it. So let's go at the top here. So I could have it bigger if I want, or I could actually make it smaller if I want.
And what I was suggesting was, if you had, like, let's say, SMS or WhatsApp running on your phone, and you're working on your notebook, you can actually have that in the corner, like a little instant messaging client running SMS as a way of communicating if you're sitting back in the cafe without having to keep looking at your phone. So
absolutely, and another option of SideSync, I don't have it set up right now, but you can actually use your smartphone as an extended desktop. So as I have my mouse pointer, I can move it to the right of the screen, and the mouse would actually come over to my smartphone, and I could utilize that WhatsApp or any other document. So I could still utilize the full real estate of my screen and still have accessibility using my mouse over into the smartphone device.
So what Samsung phones support this feature right now?
Right now it's the GS3, the Galaxy S3, the S4, the Note 2, and certainly we'll be looking at expanding that to a lot more of our Galaxy devices, including our tablets.
And this application, will this only be available on Samsung PCs, or will users of other Windows 8 PCs be able to take advantage of it too?
So as of right now, the SideSync software is going to be embedded in all Samsung Ativ books and also our Ativ tablets. So that will come stock with the new laptops. Now, as for having it on other devices, this is something that we may explore at a later point, but as of today, it's embedded in the software or in the actual computers.
So when is the Ativ Q, what's the price point going to be of this product?
So the price point, you're looking at $14.99 at launch, subject to change, but we're looking at $14.99. A worldwide launch is the end of July, with expected to see this in the Canadian market probably in very early August, probably the first 2 weeks.
And we did mention that the final specs haven't been locked down, but we are looking at like a Haswell processor, probably around 4 gigs of RAM, and a 128 gig SSD, right?
Correct.
And yeah, so this is been the Ativ, Ativ,
yeah. Book Q.
Book Q.